Hey everybody, in this video I'm just going to quickly run through and demonstrate all of the various augments that you get for the new Toxic Growth field upgrade in Black Ops 7 Zombies. So if you haven't gotten this fully upgraded yet or used all of its abilities, hopefully this will help you decide if this is something you want to prioritize your research on, or if you do have them all, kind of help you decide which ones you actually want to equip when you use it. So starting off, looking at the field upgrade by itself with no augments applied, you can see the description here where it summons a deadly growth of thorns that will slow and damage enemies. Also, just for context, all of the tests I'll be doing will take place on round 8 with the Rampage Inducer active, but by itself, it can act as a brief roadblock, but it's really nothing special. Arguably one of its most powerful effects, though, doesn't even come from an augment, and that is its ability to enhance the plants that you can spray after acquiring the spray can. Using Toxic Growth on these will drastically increase the rewards you receive, including things like Pack-a-Punch, weapon tier upgrades, and random perks. So now moving on to the various augments, which you can see here in the research tree. First I'll go through all of the major augments, then we'll move into the minor. So starting with Urticant, which means to produce an itching or stinging, will make Toxic Growth wider, as well as continue to slow any zombies after leaving its grasp. Now demonstrating what that looks like in-game, you can see the growth is much wider, taking up most of the entire barn entrance. However, the slowing effect after they leave doesn't seem to be very impactful. Comparing this to the baseline Toxic Growth, though, you can clearly see the size difference. Next up, we've got Codyception, Cordyceps being a type of parasitic fungi. This one will charm the first normal or special zombie that walks into the growth, kind of similar to what the Brain Rot ammo mod does. Looking at that one in game, you can see after placing the growth that one of the zombies gets charmed and begins attacking the other zombies. Ultimately, it does slow down the horde a bit, but it probably would be a bit more useful if you time your placement to charm a special zombie instead. Moving on to Pollination, this one will cause enemies killed by the growth to explode and deal toxic damage to nearby zombies and also slow them. This one is actually quite powerful. As you can see, it pretty much took out the entire round of zombies and still has enough health left over to remain in the game.
This jungle will eat you alive or dead.
And then finally, for the last of the major augments, we have Zoochory, which is the dispersal of seeds by animals. This one will cause the growth to attach onto either normal or special zombies that walk into it. So for this one, you can see it does a pretty good job of holding back all of the other zombies as it attaches to that first one and kind of moves forward along with the group. However, in practice, I'm personally not a big fan of this one, as I like to have my growth in an exact position, for example, like blocking off a doorway or something like that. And with this augment, you can lose track of its location pretty easily, as it will attach to random zombies and just kind of move all over the place around the map without you knowing. And that now takes us into the minor augments, starting with Ankle Shredder. This one will increase the slowing effect that the zombies receive when moving through the growth. Looking at this one, you can see there's a pretty big difference with it equipped, as the zombies get slowed significantly. Comparing that to the base version with no augment, that basically just has them running straight through it. Next up is Green Thumb. This minor augment significantly increases the health and duration of how long the toxic growth will last. I think this one might have one of the largest changes to the base values. As you can see with this equipped, I'm able to have the horde of zombies run through the growth multiple times, basically taking care of the entire round and still remaining going into the next one.
But anything grows around here. You assholes can all wither and die on the vine.
And then we've got the extra charge augment, which is pretty straightforward. It allows you to build up to 2 uses rather than 1. I'm a big fan of this one. You know, obviously it just has the general benefit of being able to utilize the field upgrade twice, but primarily I like to use it during Ravager rounds. It just makes it really simple. Depending on what map you're on, if you can find something like a stairway, you can place one at the top and one at the bottom, and basically just stand in the middle while the Ravagers run into it. It'll also allow you to use it on 2 plant spray locations as well, if you want to try and use that for more power-ups and things like that. And then finally wrapping things up, we've got plant food, which has a chance to drop fruit from zombies that die in the growth that can heal and overcharge your health. So looking at this one, I did a few different attempts. On this first try, you can see a fruit drops, which I run by and grab. If you watch my health bar, it quickly refills some of my health, but basically it just kind of canceled out one of the hits that I take. But then on the second attempt, I also used the extra charge augment as well, just to try and get some more drops and test it out. On this one, you can see I get 2 pieces of fruit that takes my base health of 150 and overcharges it up to 233. But I think it maxes out at 250. And while I'm editing this video now, I kind of forgot about testing out Juggernog alongside this, so it could probably go higher than that. I just didn't test it, so I'm not quite sure what the total max would be with eating fruit as well as having Juggernog. Either way though, I think it's ultimately kind of a weaker augment personally. So those are all of the augments for toxic growth. Also worth noting the extra slot you get as the final upgrade, which allows you to equip 1 major augment and 2 of the minor augments. But anyways, hopefully this helped you decide which ones you want to utilize or if it's worth your time to even spend researching it. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.